I bet if I played this, you would know exactly what comes next. That is called a melody, and melodies are really important in music production. Ear training, training your ear to be able to hear different notes on the piano. The difference between a major and a minor scale. Similar, but when we add in those black keys, we can definitely hear that there's some what's called dissonance inside of the scale, much more than what we hear in the major scale. When we get to the dissonance in the major scale, which is E and F, notice how it still sounds happy or bright. It doesn't sound gloomy or sad like the minor does. But here's the thing, those same notes in C minor are also the same notes that can be found in D sharp major. But it's the same notes. The only difference is where the notes are happening inside of the scale. So for example, in C minor, when we start at our root note, C, we then go to our next note, D, but right after that next note, we are now going to a half step to E flat or D sharp. And when we do that, we can hear how that has a gloomier, sadder sound. Versus if we played that same similar thing starting on the root of D sharp major, where the notes appear in the scale are going to change, where, it's going to change how things sound. So that flat third definitely changes the way things sound. On C minor, the flat third is that E flat. But on D sharp major, that D sharp is the root. And instead of a minor third, we just have a third. When we hear that, then we can find inside of the scale the different parts of the scale that sound happier and the different parts of the scale that sound gloomier or sadder. We can hear that playing those different notes have a different feel when you're playing them. Ear training is a lot more than just sitting down at a piano and just trying to play melodies or trying to play different pitches. But it's about understanding where the keys are and where different keys have different sounds. For example, learning pentatonic scale. In a pentatonic scale, you only have the 5 major notes of that scale. And so because of that, you won't have any gloominess in any of your song. And a good example of that is just playing the black keys on a piano. And we can definitely hear the difference when we add in the rest of the notes versus only playing those 5 notes. I'll show you here on Scales and Chords how you can locate the different pentatonic scales in order for you to use that in your melody creation and in your music production. So using Scales and Chords, whichever key that you choose, you can select the major pentatonic, minor pentatonic, or hemipentatonic. You can choose those scales and it will show you which notes are being blocked out from those scales. So the normal C major scale includes all of the white keys, C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. However, the pentatonic scale takes away the F and it takes away the B. Now, why does it take those 2 notes away? Because those 2 notes are where a lot of dissonance is found inside of the C major scale. Because you have these 2 notes that are right next to each other, E and F, and you also have B and C, which are right next to each other as well. So when we remove those notes, They give us that major pentatonic sound, and that helps us to be able to have melodies or improvisations or riffs or arpeggiations that will not conflict with the other melodies and chords inside of your music. Pentatonic scale is really good because you won't find notes that don't sound good together, essentially. Like, you can pretty much make chords and your chords are gonna sound good. But the minute we start adding in the rest of those notes, we get some different flavor, we get some different color. So for example, what if we played some chords and then we only use the black keys, or we only use a pentatonic scale? So we're gonna play in the scale different chords that would appear in the scale, but when it comes to adding the melody, we're only gonna use the black keys, signifying a pentatonic scale. So for example, we'll play this chord progression. So we've gone over the major scale, minor scale, pentatonic scale, and learning scales will definitely help you in figuring out how to create melodies in your music production. But that's only the beginning when it comes to making melodies in your beats. When it comes to training your ear, you need to listen to other melodies inside of other people's music in order for you to learn how to create melodies just like those. Kind of similar to the melody that we started this video with. I've been listening to songs and trying to recreate them inside of Reason 12. For example, here's my take on a very popular funk song. It will probably sound more familiar if I play this section of the song. When it comes to melodies that just live in your brain, Knee Deep is definitely one of those. It's one of those kind of melodies that's easily singable and easily recognizable. How about this track, which is a reimagining of Floetry's Say Yes? The melody of Say Yes is pretty simple. It's 4 notes traveling down the scale. The chords of that melody is really where you get the flavor of that song. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed watching this video, please be sure to give it a like. If you really enjoyed it, then you can share this with somebody else. And if you have any suggestions or any thoughts, please leave them down below in the comments section. If you're looking for more videos in order to improve your music production skills, then you should check this playlist out right here. My name is Chris Reed. Until next time, peace.